an interstellar object whirling through our solar system is actually a nuclear-powered spacecraft sent by aliens.
NASA just released shocking new images of the 3-Eye Atlas, and you won't believe the shocking footage captured and what it means for planet Earth.
He says an image from the Hubble telescope backs him up. Most scientists agree that the so-called 3-Eye Atlas is a comet from another solar system.
The 3-Eye Atlas was first discovered on the 1st of July 2025. The NASA-funded Atlas Survey Telescope in Rio Hurtado, Chile, reported the sighting of an unusual comet that was approaching from interstellar space. It was reported to be arriving from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation. Its official name, 3-Eye Atlas, was due to its origins, and recently, it's been said to be approaching at an unusual speed. But what are the implications for planet Earth? Since its discovery, researchers have been compiling reports from earlier atlases' archives to conduct a thorough analysis of this new atlas. It is currently thought to be harmless to the planet at its current distance, but only if it stays that way. It is currently about 4.5 AU, about 416 million miles or 670 million kilometers from the Sun. 3-Eye Atlas will reach its closest approach to the Sun around October 30, 2025, at a distance of 1.4 AU, which is about 130 million miles or 210 million kilometers, just inside the orbit of Mars. However, 3-Eye Atlas should remain visible to ground-based telescopes through September 2025, after which it will pass too close to the Sun, which will make it impossible to observe. It is expected to reappear on the other side of the Sun by early December 2025, allowing for renewed observations.
Arguing that the 3-Eye Atlas could be a nuclear-powered alien spacecraft. Loeb says the Hubble picture appears to show the object emitting its own light.
The moment astronomers discovered 3-Eye Atlas in July 2025, it was clear it was not a normal comet. For starters, it seemed to be emitting its own light, which is bizarre for a comet that was at that time so far from the Sun. That was the first unusual thing about the 3-Eye Atlas. Then there was the fact that it was also made of carbon dioxide and had an 8.1 carbon dioxide ice-to-water ice ratio, which is among the highest ever recorded. It offered a potential glimpse into the conditions that exist in other solar systems, and how those systems were formed in the first place. All of this points to one conclusion: it is unlike anything we've seen before, and it could simply indicate the existence of something unknown to man. Clearly, the 3-Eye Atlas parent system may have been really rich in carbon dioxide, or maybe there were some weird radiation processes that left a lot of carbon dioxide and boiled away everything else, McCleary says, indirectly trying to understand the composition of this comet and comparing it to the composition of other interstellar comets. But that isn't all. New discoveries regarding its size have also emerged. Measuring the object's non-gravitational acceleration, the team believes they found something anomalous. A study has attempted to pin down the properties of interstellar comet 3-Eye Atlas, and the findings are that it is anomalously massive at around 33 billion tons. This is groundbreaking, and potentially a new discovery for Earth. Nearly twice the velocity of previous interstellar visitors Oumuamua and Comet Borisov, with a then-estimated nucleus, the rocky part of the comet excluding its coma, of around 5.6 kilometers or 3.5 miles. Sizing comets can be a tricky business, primarily because to do so, you need to distinguish its comet from its coma. As comets approach the Sun in their orbit and heat up, they outgas, losing gas. Later, when they are even closer to the Sun, they lose dust, and this forms their distinctive trail or coma. This outgassing acts like a thruster, slightly altering the trajectory, rotation, and speed of the comet. Another interesting side to it is that it is the largest comet nucleus ever seen at 128 kilometers or 80 miles across. So where is this anomaly? According to Avi Loeb, the director for theory and computation at Harvard, the mystery is why we haven't spotted many more interstellar objects before we spotted one of this size. If the comet is confirmed to be of this size, Loeb, as he's known to do, once again proposed the highly unlikely possibility that it may be an alien spacecraft. These claims, as NASA has pointed out, shouldn't be taken too seriously, with Loeb himself calling it a pedagogical exercise in his first paper, meaning it is solely for the purpose of learning. It looks like a comet, it does comet things, it very, very strongly resembles, in just about every way, the comets that we know. Tom Statler, NASA's lead scientist for solar system small bodies, told The Guardian, responding to the claims. It has some interesting properties that are a little different from our solar system comets, but it behaves like a comet, and so the evidence is overwhelmingly pointing to this object being a natural body. It's a comet. Regardless of these characteristics that the 3I Atlas poses, it is still just a comet, and there is nothing suspicious about it.
First, I should say that if the light that we observe from this object is reflection of sunlight, its size needs to be bigger than Manhattan Island, 20 kilometers or so.
Comets are normally extremely dark, to the point where astronomers struggle to see them. As they get closer to the sun, solar radiation causes volatile compounds and ices on their outside, which are highly reflective, to melt. For 3I Atlas to have started glowing as far out from the sun as it did was abnormal enough to result in some theorizing early on that it must be an alien spacecraft. What else, small and quick, would be producing light? When the orbit of 3I Atlas is traced into the past, the comet is observed to have clearly originated from outside our solar system. Comet 3I Atlas poses no threat to Earth and will remain far away. Although the trajectory of the object brings it into the inner solar system, it won't come close to Earth. As the comet 3I Atlas journeys through the solar system, it won't come closer than 1.8 astronomical units, about 170 million miles or 270 million kilometers, to our planet. We should be able to get a better look at the object as it approaches, with the potential to observe it using the HiRISE camera aboard the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter on October 3, 2025. Additionally, we now have the Vera C. Rubin Observatory up and running. Until 2025, astronomers have found around 20,000 new asteroids per year, but when the observatory began working, it found 2,104 new asteroids in just about 10 hours of observations. With more data and hopefully more interstellar objects to look at, we may be able to place more constraints on this puzzling objects and others like it. We could potentially get a very close look at that comet, and it could be particularly interesting because it will have gone as close to the sun as it's going to get, and lots of carbon dioxide will have boiled off, so we'll be able to see what's left, McCleary says. It might not be aliens making first contact yet, as 3I Atlas as the only third documented interstellar object to pass through the solar system. However, its presence opens up the possibilities of other solar systems out there and the desire to have more information on them.